Hey guys, Josh Ankin here, creator of the ultimate sandbag and our dynamic variable resistance system. What I want to go over today is something we talked about in our blog, which is the power of adding complexity to a lot of the ultimate sandbag movements. We find when we do so, we can create a lot of great metabolic circuits and strength series by increasing the stabilizer strength throughout your body. Now, a lot of exercises and functional fitness programs will tell you they're doing stabilizer training, but this does it in a really unique way. One thing we found testing heart rate and caloric expenditure with a lot of these drills is whenever the bag is resting in the shoulder position or in the zercher position, it seems that heart rate and energy expenditure goes up. It could be the compression that the bag causes that the body really tries to resist to maintain posture during movement. So let's break down a couple of movements, give you something practical to work with. So one of the classic sandbag exercises that you see people perform is shouldering. Coming down, powering the bag right up to the shoulder. Back down. Great exercise. The mistake a lot of people make is they usually use that as exclusive metabolic exercise. They'll just do repetitions. The problem is because the nature of ultimate sandbag training, the weight starts to disperse over the repetitions. You have to stop in the middle of them, redistribute the weight, and it becomes a logistical issue in your metabolic circuit. So usually when we do shouldering, we like to do it in conjunction with other patterns and motions. So what we can do is start weaving different patterns and motions together to really give you a synergistic effect. So we're going to do a complex where each segment is going to be broken down to make a really complementary series. Usually in a complex, there's a weakness throughout the chain that you're really limiting the exercise by one of the preliminary exercises within the movement. So let me give you an example. So I'm going to go to a staggered stance shouldering motion. So staggered stance now is going to destabilize me a little bit. I'm going to combine that with a shoulder-shoulder motion. So because the shoulder-shoulder is a one-arm lift that I'm going to be a little bit weaker on, working from a staggered stance sort of balances out the two. After I do a shoulder-shoulder press, I'm going to proceed into a forward lunge with the bag on the same side leg, which again is going to challenge my stability, which is going to, again, even out the playing field, so each exercise is taxed appropriately. Not one is much more difficult or easier than the other. So let me go over this series for you. So I can shoulder up. As I do so, I'm going to bring my foot to stance, press to shoulder, now lunge forward. Come back. I'm going to reposition, staggered, come down, and repeat the movement. Now you have a couple options. If you're really finding that you have a lot of weakness in the upper body and that shoulder-shoulder, you can do this. So you can go shoulder to the back side, stance, bring it to the same side, now you lunge. So you've eliminated one of the presses within the series. What we really want to try to get you to, especially in athletic-based performance, is that stagger stance is going to become a projection right up in, meaning that foot's going to slide right up. So now it's going to be staggered, boom. All right, after our little microphone issue there, you see the series that you can start to create. It's a great way to weave that into the ladder. So you could do 5 repetitions, one side, 4 the other, 3, 2, 1, alternating sides, rest for about minute to minute and a half, and then repeat starting with the other leg forward. A great series. You're going to find that you get taxed pretty fast, but really your whole body gets challenged, and a lot of frontal plane stabilization going on. Another way you can challenge the shoulder series is by actually starting to shoulder from different patterns and positions. So, for example, a lot of times we shoulder from a position of strength, i.e. usually this bilateral position like so. But I can also perform a shoulder drill where I'm actually lunging out. So if I pick my ultimate sandbag up, I lunge out. If I come up and shoulder, now I'm in the perfect position, press, come back out. So now we have a lot of frontal plane stabilization going on, destabilization of the leg. So whenever you destabilize yourself, you're going to find a lot more of the smaller muscles fire off, making the exercise a lot more challenging. So it's not just purely a balance drill because we got to go to load. So we have a couple options when we do this. So I can step out like I just showed you, bring it up to the same shoulder. Now I want a really close stance with my feet, so this is going to reduce my base support. Press, and I can always come out right to the other side. Up. Press down the other side. A really terrific drill again for challenging multi-planes and the way your body moves in synergy. Now for some people that can be a big challenge. So one way we teach some of these drills a little more progressively is you can use what we commonly use in our gym, which is a valve slide. So a valve slide is awesome because it slides on most surfaces. It gives us another layer to building some progressions. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So for a lot of people, stepping out is very difficult because you have to stop your whole body's center of gravity coming on the frontal plane. So what the valve slide allows us to do in this situation is what I'm going to do is now I'm going to slide this foot out so my center of mass is going to stay over my strong point. So now when I come down, shoulder, press, press, and come down again, see how I'm not having to decelerate myself out in the frontal plane. So a nice progression if people have a hard time stopping, loading, and coming back up. Another way we can apply this same principle is we can add another layer to that staggered shoulder position, which is now I can add a backwards component. So when I come down, I'm almost in a starting stance to sprint. Come up a little forward here. I want my bag here. Drive that leg up. I want to make sure the foot's underneath me. Got firm plant. Coming back down. Coming up. Coming back down. Whew. Add a press. And drive yourself up. A simple tool that allows you, again, layer way more progressions within your training. Now you're taking your training to a whole nother level in the functional training series and get so much more value to your ultimate sandbag training program. So I hope these give you some inspiration. We got some good and awesome programs coming out in 2012. So check us out at ultimatesandbagtraining.com.